Hi everybody, it's Samaneri Jayasara here. I thought it might be a good opportunity to take this opportunity to show my face finally, given that this quite unexpected phenomena has reached 20,000 subscribers. And for a few reasons, to come on and just say thank you primarily for all your kind words of support and gratitude, and your shows of support too through donations that people have made for the Viveka Hermitage Fund. So much appreciation for that. And perhaps it's good to see my face also to dispel any illusions that you may have about who is reading these words of the Masters. So I don't know if seeing my face will help or hinder it, but at least it puts a picture to it. I also just wanted to talk very briefly about how and why this came about, and why I suppose I'm inspired to continue, because really it just started as a personal project of myself reading some profound texts so that for meditation practice the meaning of Dharma would go deeper. And in sharing that with a couple of people, the feedback was that it was very helpful for them too. Hence the reason I put a few of the teachings up probably a year ago now on YouTube, just thinking there could be people out there who this might benefit. So needless to say, I'm quite surprised to see the level of interest, but I'm also delighted to know that these teachings and this method of presenting them is helpful for so many people. So in that sense, it inspires me to continue to make this offering. And it's also become somewhat more eclectic, as you will have noticed. And that's not just through people's requests, but also through my own eclectic taste in spirituality, and recognizing that certain teachings go in differently. You know, some are quite analytical and some are quite heart-based, as you know. So I think it's good to keep ourselves open to various ways of imbibing the Dharma, learning the Dharma, and also keeping our hearts and minds open to a range of spiritual traditions, and knowing that the truth is expressed in so many ways. Just on a more mundane level, I want to mention, because I know that some people don't read the video descriptions or things that I write, but it is important to mention that this channel is not monetized and never will be. Obviously, strongly as a Buddhist nun, I'm not out to make money. I don't need money personally. But I do use some, especially in the early days, I used music that has copyright on it. So which is okay to do that, but it also means that the music companies have the right to advertise. So that's why some people get cranky when the ads pop up. But I have posted many messages to say, just install an ad blocker. It's very simple. Or I've given people the opportunity to go to my Google Drive and just download any of the teachings if they want to hear it regularly. So please understand that it's not a monetized channel, and ads will just pop up if the music's associated with a record company that want to reap some funds, and that's fair enough. But what I'm trying to do now is to use non-copyrighted material and a number of very kind musicians have offered their beautiful music for me to use as well. So, but anyway, there's ways around it. I just needed to say that. The other thing I wanted to mention too was that I get a lot of requests for different readings, and please be patient. I won't always be able to fulfill your request for various reasons. I may not have access to the teaching. It also might be a recent publication, in which case I can't read it due to copyright restrictions. The other reason is some texts don't lend themselves to this sort of format of reading. And lastly, I may not connect or find a deep understanding. So if I don't connect with it, and that's not a criticism of the teaching, it's just perhaps my own limitation if I don't have a resonance. This whole process is very intuitive and comes about very intuitively, and similarly with the music, it just somehow comes together. Don't ask me how. I think everybody knows, when things flow, they just flow. And the more I can get out of the way and just read and allow them to create themselves, I think the better they are. So that was all I wanted to say, I think. And just the motivation to continue is coming from people's expressions of joy and gratitude. So that keeps me inspired to keep doing this, even though I'm not really one for any sort of social media involvement. So this is kind of new for me, but I think it's worthwhile. And just to share with you lastly, I guess one thing that happened recently was I got this lovely email from an Aussie guy who wrote to express his gratitude and to say how much the teachings are helping him. And he's a humble prawn fisherman, he said, and he's never met anyone on the spiritual path, but for some reason he's developed an interest in the last couple of years and found these teachings, and has found other spiritual teachings, of course, as well. But my recordings have kind of provided a forum for him to feel connected. So that really touched my heart, because he doesn't know anybody, he said, who's into spirituality in his circle. So in that way, this YouTube thing's become a bit of a virtual Sangha. And Sangha is so important for our practice, to feel connected, to feel the energy from each other, to share, which I know a lot of you do with discussions, answering questions and sharing your own insights. So for that reason, I think this phenomena is a good thing, and I will continue to do it as long as it feels right, and that it is helping people is the only thing, the only reason I really want to do it. And selfishly, it helps myself. Helps me a lot, because I get to read and listen again and listen again to these incredible teachings. As we know, they're so deep, they're so powerful. So for my own practice, it has many benefits, as you can probably appreciate. So I wish you all well, and it's nice, I hope, to connect with you face to face, and many blessings for your practice, and once again, all gratitude and metta.